Hi friends, welcome on YourPedia, and you're watching the series of lectures for your upcoming exam of Industry Promotion Officer. Andhra Pradesh Public Service Commission is coming out with the notification for Industry Promotion Officer job on 15th August 2026. By that time, YourPedia will be completing entire syllabus. So Industry Promotion Officer is a wonderful job by Andhra Pradesh, and in the job calendar it is clearly mentioned there will be 95 vacancies, and on 15th August all the branch of engineering are eligible for that. This is the job notification. This is the job calendar of Andhra Pradesh, this Public Service Commission, and Industry Promotion Officer. All branch of engineering students are eligible for that. This is something which is wonderful. And also you have age criteria, you can go for it. So the syllabus is non-technical syllabus, which is general studies, mental ability, and then there's a this subject, applied science, engineering and management kind of subject. So already it is largely part is completed. My today's lecture is industrial management, and in the industrial management there is a topic in the industrial management. If you see, this is industrial management subject, and in the industrial management this is the topic industrial management for you, fourth topic. And in the fourth topic of industrial management you have this entrepreneurship development. In the entrepreneurship development, new trends in the management. In the new trends of in management, you have this topic of concept of quality, which is discussed by Crosby, Edward, Deming, Joseph, Juran, this Ishikawa, Taguchi, Shingo. So these are the quality gurus. We call them quality gurus. So I'll be covering this contribution of the quality gurus in two lectures: Crosby, Deming, Juran, that will be covered today. Ishikawa, Taguchi, Shingo will be covered in the next lecture. So that is how we want to cover this quality gurus. So today's lecture is related to father of quality, total quality management, that is Edward Deming, and then Crosby, and then Juran. It's a very important cycle by Deming. So we'll be discussing about this cycle also. It is called PDSA or PDCA cycle: plan, do, check, action. You know what is the meaning of this cycle? That means there has to be continuous improvement. Let me explain you the philosophy. Continuous improvement. You should continuously improve your system for the betterment. Never let status quo be there. Status quo means the way it is going on, let it be like that. Change it, improve it, and the best way to do that is bring some minor change and then see what is the result of that, and then keep on changing that. Plan something, plan a change, then make a change, then check what is the impact of change, and then implement it on the larger scale. That is called plan, do, check, act. Plan a change. On the basis of that, okay, I want continuous improvement, I want things to improve. That is called planning for the change. Then do means make a small implement that change in a small pilot mode basis. Pilot mode, don't implement it in entire organization, implement it on a minor basis, and then see the result of that. Check whether it is going to give you positive or not, and then if the result is positive, then implement it. Action, right? Plan, do, check, act. That is how continuous improvement is done. Let's talk about Edward Deming now. He is a quality guru. So Hiroshima, Nagasaki, US dropped nuclear bomb on Japan, and Japan was totally destroyed that time, and then Japanese industries were to start from the scratch. So Americans took it as a responsibility to develop the Japanese industries once again. Edward Deming was a professor of statistics, and he was given the responsibility to bring the quality into the industries and increase the efficiency and productivity, and that is how this all happened. So Edward Deming is American engineer, statistician, and professor. He developed sampling techniques which are used by Department of Census and Bureau of Labor in US Census. So this is sampling techniques. Sampling techniques, right? Whenever I'm to see the impact of something, I take a small sample. Whenever I'm to check something, I do not check it for entire population. I take a small part of population, I take a small sample, and then see the impact on that small sample. So he basically he took forward the work of Walter Shewhart. He took the work forward of Walter Shewhart. Walter Shewhart was the basically quality guru, and this plan, do, check, act was basically Shewhart's cycle. This is called Shewhart cycle. So Deming took Shewhart's cycle forward. So Shewhart cycle Deming took, and it was taken forward. So this later on this Plan Do Study Act. This is also called Plan Do Study. Instead of C, it can be S also. So Shewhart gave first his cycle. That cycle only Deming made as PDCA or PDSA cycle. So somebody asked you who was the beginner for this cycle, continuous improvement cycle, that was Shewhart. And then Deming took it forward, right? So Deming called this Shewhart cycle in the beginning, and then its new name was given, right? So Deming believed that higher quality will give you higher productivity. Quality, that is what customer wants, and you improve your things. So Deming said that okay, if we improve the quality, then productivity of the organization will increase, and it gives the competitive strength also. So the quality will eventually lead to lower cost and higher productivity, because it will eventually mean that less defected pieces, less mistakes, less errors. So when there is a less mistake, less error, less defected pieces, then obviously your productivity profit will increase. So you are not having delays, you are using the resources properly, so you are getting better qualities at lower prices, and you can get better market share, and you can stay in business. So you can get more and more profit for that. So this is what Deming felt. Deming felt that if we keep on improving ourselves, PDCA cycle means keep improving yourself. Keep improving yourself in the improving what? Product, service, and process, everything. Keep improving. Ask yourself, is there any scope of improvement? If it is yes, then through PDCA cycle, just do the analysis. Okay, let's plan what improvement we want. Let's make that change, small, minor change. Let's see the impact of that, and then implement it in entire organization. The moment you do this PDCA and all in your organization, your quality will improve, profit will improve. Quality improve means production will increase, efficiency will increase, proper utilization of the resources will be there, so profit eventually will increase. So he used statistical quality control and process variability as main method to control the quality. So these were the methods which were used. Statistical quality control, you know what is statistical quality control, because he was the professor of statistics, so that is what he used. Process variability, and he used that. So what were the contribution of Deming? He gave his 14 points. He gave his 7 deadly disease or sin. He said that in the management has these 7 deadly sin. If management is doing this, that is a deadly sin management is doing. 14 points. System of profound knowledge he gave, and PDCA and PDSA cycle he gave. So these are some significant things of Deming. That is what we should understand. He wrote some books. So remember the names of books. I don't think books will be asked, but these are very, very important. The contribution of the Deming. So these can be asked from us. So Deming said that it is 80 to 90% responsibility of the management, and workers are responsible for 10 to 20% only for quality problems. If in your organization the problem of quality is coming, then top management or management is responsible for 80 to 90% of the responsibility will be that of management. Workers are responsible, but only that they are to communicate to the management for information they carry regarding the system. So Deming's approach requires organization-wide cultural transformation. So what is the meaning of organization-wide? You know what is TQM? Please watch that lecture. In this total quality management, total means culture of the organization, of entire organization should be pro customer. That means you have to consider the culture of the organization in such a way that entire organization gets involved, and everyone in the organization from top management to the basic level to the lower level, every individual should be pro customer. They have to provide service or quality to the customer. They should be like that. So that is a total quality management. So for Deming's approach, total quality management situation should already be existing. So his philosophy is summarized in 14 points, and this is a framework of quality and productivity. So he does not depend upon, his teaching is not based upon the finding the defected pieces. Quality does not mean finding the defected pieces, remove those defected pieces. That is basic of quality control. It is not like that. He said statistical analysis of manufacturing process should be done. Cooperation of workers, management is required. to produce high quality products. This is how we need to understand it. So how Deming rose? How Deming rose? He is a professor of statistics and he taught at Columbia University. Later on, he started using that quality control things. So he was approached by General Douglas MacArthur. So the journal or the person who was responsible to again create the system in Japan. So after Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan was totally devastated. So General Arthur was given the responsibility by US government to go to Japan and take care of this. General R. MacArthur wanted industries to develop in Japan, so he brought Professor Deming. So he worked on quality control, so much so that Japanese Union of Scientists and Engineers invited Professor Demings, and he also got second order medal, one of the highest medals of Japan for improvement of quality. And there is a Deming prize, very very important for the quality in Japan and now in US also, the highest quality award given. So that is called Deming prize. So it is in his name only. What is system of profound knowledge? So see these four circles. This is the main essential theory of Deming's. It says there are four interrelated things are there. Theory of optimization, make your resources, utilize your resources in optimum way. Theory of variation, there has to be some kind of variation, some kind of changes. Theory of knowledge, epistemology it is called, and theory of psychology. So this is system of profound knowledge. That means you should have knowledge about these things. So you should have knowledge about these things. Remember what were the four profound knowledge theories, and now understand what is the each theory. Theory of optimization means, so you are to basically optimize the things. You should not focus on improving one department. Entire system should be improved in a one go. So it is not that you will improve one department and another department may not be working efficiently. One department is acting efficiently. Theory of optimization means you are to make entire system efficient, not part of the system efficient. Think of four tires of a vehicle. One is deflated, three are inflated, three are working okay, but air pressure in one is less. So entire vehicle speed gets hampered by that. So all the system, entire system. So theory of optimization means entire system you have to focus together. So theory of variation, variation or difference in its results. So every process has some variation. So manager is to understand that this variation is normal or this is because of some problem. So you need to understand the variation, why that variation is coming, why the difference is coming. So you need to focus on that variation. Theory of knowledge, epistemology. So theory of knowledge, good decision if you want to take, they should be on the data, fact, observation and continuous learning rather than assumptions or opinion. So organization should basically test the ideas, learn, but the knowledge should be knowledge should be correct. Knowledge should be based upon data, observation, fact, and then only you can implement that. So theory of knowledge. Theory of psychology means people. Psychology is the mind, behavior and mind of the people who are working there. Manager should understand what motivates employees, what builds trust in them, what encourages them, what motivates them, what removes their fear. So that is how theory of psychology means this. So you are to, your most precious resource is human resource. Theory of psychology means understand your people and motivate them to work. Theory of knowledge means any decision you want to make, you should have data, fact, information. Today in the data science we are saying decision making is better if you have good data and you analyze that properly. Theory of variation is, yes, some change or variation comes. You need to understand why that variation is coming. Theory of optimization means, yes, you have to focus on entire system. So these were the four components of theory of profound knowledge of Deming. Now please go through these Deming's 7 deadly sins. 7 deadly sins of management. If management has this, if the management has any of this, that is a deadly sins or disease of the management, like lack of purpose or constancy, emphasis on short-term result, merit rating evaluation. Merit evaluation means annual review when you do, the way you are giving the ratings, the way you are giving the evaluating the performance, that should not be wrong. Mobility of the management should not be a problem. Mobility of the management means management should be active enough, mobilize, and management should work properly. Management should be mobilizing properly. So those things are to be taken care of, that management is mobilizing properly. Those things are very, very important for us, right? So these things are basically important for us. And then it is you should rely on visible figures. You should not rely only on the visual figures alone, like something which is visible to you, something which you can see, and if you are making your decision only on that, you have to read between the lines also. You have to also focus on the hidden things which may not be visible to you, but they are also very important. Excessive medical cost, if it is increasing medical cost, like if you are not focusing on the safety, security, or hazardous situations in the organization, then medical reimbursement, it has to be there. Excessive legal cost, because people will be fighting with you, the customer will be fighting, the employee will be fighting if you don't give them the ambience. So don't waste money on medical cost and legal cost. Give them quality, give them safety, give them good ambience. So just go through these 7 things. These are the 7 deadly sin. Exam question will come, which of the following is the deadly sin of the management? Okay, if the management is giving excessive medical cost because people are getting damaged or injured or something like that. Excessive legal cost, that is not good. Mobility of the management is not experimenting, it is not evolving. You are only focusing on what is visible to you, data, something like that. These are the 14 points. This should not be there in the management, this should be there, right, in the organization. So create constancy of purpose, improvement of the product and service, new philosophy you please adopt. So dependency on mass inspection should not be there. Don't stop depending upon the mass inspection. It has to be like you should not focus only on the quality control, it has to be quality assurance and all. And the practice of awarding business on price tag alone. So price tag is one of the component, not the main component. So improve constancies forever the system of production. Institute training should be provided. Leadership should be there. Fear should be removed. Break down barrier between the staff areas. So barrier should not be there. I mean, you should break down those barriers. Eliminate the slogans, extortion, target. So just remember these points. These points just go through once. These are something which are important. These are something which should not be there. That is the meaning of this. And what is Deming cycle? This is the most important thing. So exam, if question comes, I think it should come from the Deming cycle. Deming cycle, it is called plan, do, check, act, or plan, do, S stands for study. So plan, make a change, plan for a change. Let's plan what change we want to do it, bring that change in a minor way, small way, then check it. Suppose as a teacher I want to improve my teaching. I planned how can I make my teaching better. Let's introduce the video here. Okay, will that help? Let's introduce in one of the lectures, small scale. Let's see what the students say. If they like it, check, ask students, is this good? It is helping you to understand? Then in all my lectures I'll implement it. Act. What was learned? What changes did you see? Positive change, implement it. That is called act. So plan, do, check, act, right? So you are making full scale implementation, you are doing only after small scale checking. Test on the small scale before you implement in the entire scale. Plan, do, check, act. Second quality guru. So Deming was the first quality guru which I discussed with you. Now second quality guru is Juran. Joseph Juran is the second quality guru. Juran is the quality guru who basically contributed to the quality domain, and he basically came out with these things which are very, very important. He defined quality as fitness for use. So in the very first lecture of quality, I told you that quality gurus defined quality in a different ways. Like Juran said, quality is the fitness for use. If this pen is quality pen for me because it fit into what is the purpose of this. So I am fitting this into the use, whatever is the use of this pen. He gave a concept of quality triology and quality planning roadmap, little q, big Q, and he developed the concept of cost of quality. Cost of quality is a very, very important concept developed by Juran. Cost of quality. Cost of quality means if you give quality to the customer, obviously you need to invest to some extent to provide those requirement or features. If you don't give quality, again there will be cost, because customer you will lose and you will lose the money. So there's a cost of not providing the quality, there's a cost of providing the quality. Conformance, non-conformance. So what is triology? Tri means three, logy means knowledge. The three activities which are connected, there are three things which are connected together, and he focused on quality planning, quality control, quality improvement. Planning, improvement, control. So what is quality planning? Quality planning means, so you are to plan, you are to produce the goods and services that meet customers' need. You have to plan for that. Organization is to determine who customers are and what they need. Who are the customer? What they need, you need to plan for that. So you need to develop the product or service that meet customers' need and develop the process which are able to deliver those products and services. Right? So you need to develop the product and services as per the requirement of customer. Right? The moment you have planned that, okay, this is what I want to make, then the next stage comes where you have to execute that plan and make the product or service. So first is what product or service you want to give. Then comes quality control. So quality control is, let's inspect and let's not give wrong thing to the customer. So prevent the things from getting worse. Control is that. So if there is a defected item, I should remove that defected item. That is typical example of quality control. Quality planning is, let's see what we want to give to the customer. Quality control is, okay, whatever we are giving to the customer, that should not be defected. Let's not the damage should go to customer. That is quality control. Quality improvement means, okay, now we are already giving, error we have reduced, let's now take it to the next level of performance. Quality improvement. Quality planning, what I want to give, okay, so let's give. Now whatever you have made as per planning is defected. Let not defected go to the customer. Only accurate piece go to customer. Okay, it has gone. Now what? Don't stop it here. Improve it. These are the three things. Plan what you want to give, but not the defected thing. Control it and improve it now. These are the three stages. Planning, controlling, improving. Planning, what to give. Controlling, give only what you planned, not the wrong defected item. Improve whatever you are giving, now improve it. Then only it will keep on growing, right? So this is what triology. Right? So this is, I have explained you, Juran, quality planning, quality control, quality improvement. Just go through this table also. This sets the objective, this actual performance, and then keep on improving. What is quality planning roadmap? This is just to understand what customer wants. Measurement on the basis of the customer need, optimizing product design, developing the process as per the customer's requirement. So, quality you need to give as per the requirement of the customers. So that is you have to plan the roadmap forward. Infrastructure should be, created, and you have to plan it in the strategic way. There is something which is big Q, little q. What is big Q? Big Q means big quality. That means entire organization should be responsible, not only quality department. In the organization there is a quality department also. Is quality only responsibility of quality department? No. Quality is all about requirement of customer. An entire organization is dealing with the customer. So you have to provide to the customer something which they look for. So quality should not only be responsibility of one department. Little q means the quality is mainly concerned with manufacturing process and inspection, that is quality control department. So quality means only quality control department. This means quality means all the departments, whether it is the HR department, marketing department, sales department, all the departments. Third is Philip Crosby. That is a third quality guru today, Crosby. So friends, whatever is being provided to you, whatever discussion is being done for you, that I believe is sufficient enough for your exam. Obviously, we can go in detail about Deming and Juran and all, maybe 10 more pages, but that is not required. Now what Crosby says, first he wrote a book, Quality is Free. He said quality is free. Absolute of quality management, zero defect, do it right the first time. So why we are going through these terms? Because in the exam question comes, who gave the concept of quality is free? Who gave 14 quality improvement steps? They are different from Deming's 40 points. There are 14 quality improvement steps. Who said cost of quality, cost of non-conformance? Who wrote quality without tears? Who said quality is conformance to requirement, non-quality is non-conformance? What are 4 absolute of quality management? So let's first talk about 4 absolutes of quality. Very important concept given by Crosby. So quality and cost are not in competition. That is what he says. It is not that if you want to increase the quality, the cost has to increase. It is not like that. So quality and cost, these are two different things. So quality is conformance to the requirements. Quality prevention is preferable to quality inspection. Quality conformance is basically conformance to requirement. That is a definition of the quality. As I told you, each quality guru gave you some definition. So conformance to requirement is the definition of quality. That is what given by Crosby. Conformance to requirement, that is what he gave. Conformance to requirement. And he said quality prevention is better than quality inspection. That is the second absolute of quality. Zero defect is quality performance standard. I mean, you should provide zero defects. There should not be requirement of quality inspection. Quality is measured in monetary terms, and that is the price of non-conformance. So these are the 4 absolutes of the quality which you provide. 4 absolutes of the quality. Now this is the cost of quality concept, friends. Now total cost of quality can be calculated as cost of good quality, cost of poor quality. Cost of good quality means if you want to give the requirement, if you want to satisfy the requirement of the customer, if you want to give them what they need, if you want to satisfy their requirement, then you need to prevent the errors, mistakes. You should not be basically making the mistakes, and you need to provide the appraisals. You need to meet some requirements. Cost of poor quality means if there is a loss, if there is a failure, if internal failure is there, external failure is there, then you will lose the customer, you will lose the business. That is the cost of poor quality. So there is a cost cut with the poor quality, there is a cost associated with poor quality. If you give poor quality, again the cost will increase. If you give good quality, then also cost increases. If you want to give good quality, if you want to give good service to the customer, obviously you need to invest on that, and that is cost of good quality. But if you give poor quality, then your businesses you are going to lose, and that also is cost wise you need to pay for that. So good quality, bad quality. So cost of quality we were discussing, friends. So there are 2 components of cost of quality: cost of good quality, cost of poor quality. Cost of good quality means prevention and appraisal. Prevention, I mean, cost of good quality means if you want to give quality to the customer, you need to invest on that, obviously. Cost of poor quality, if you don't give quality to the customer, obviously customer you lose, business you lose. And then if you see this map, there is a failure cost, there is a prevention plus appraisal cost. Failure cost, you don't give quality. X-axis is quality level. So there is a very poor quality, there is a very high quality. Zero defect, 100% defect. Very poor quality, when the quality level decreases, the failure cost increases. I mean, quality you are not giving, product is failing, it has its own cost associated. Like if you give defected item to some customer, he will return it, and again you have to make it. So that will be costlier for you. If you give more quality, obviously you have to provide more features, and then you are putting more effort on preventing the error. Here there is an error. Here you are putting effort to prevent error. So when you are preventing error from coming, again you are using good machines, good process. So cost is increasing. Somewhere you have to make a balance. That is called cost of quality. It's the total money you spend on achieving the quality. So prevention and appraisal are cost of good quality, and internal and external failure cost is cost of poor quality. As company invest more in prevention and inspection, the number of defects will decrease. So costly, it reduces the failures, number of defects will decrease. So failure cost will decrease. What are the failure cost? Like you have to again rework on that. You have to again provide that particular component to the customer. You have to provide the warranty. Customer complaints you have to see. So that is a failure cost. So you have to reach optimum quality level where total cost of quality is minimum, balancing quality improvement with overall cost. So that is how it is to be done. Cost of poor quality. So cost of conformance, cost of non-conformance. So cost of conformance and cost of non-conformance. So prevention cost, appraisal cost, internal failure cost, external failure cost. Cost of conformance. That means if you want to conform, what is quality? Quality is conformance to the requirement of customer. What customer want, you have to conform to that. If you want to conform to that, what customer wants, if you want to provide that, you have to prevent the defects from coming. So you have to prevent the defects from coming, and you have to invest on the processes which you are to be good. Appraisal. If you don't want defect from coming, you need to do appraisal, you need to measure, check, do the things. So you have to invest on that. Non-conformance. That means there can be failure. So if you do not conform to the specification, if you conform, then you provide quality. If you don't conform, there is a quality failure. Quality failure, again cost will be there. Cost is because of this also, cost because of this also. Cost because you are trying to give good quality, cost because you could not give good quality and hence it backfired. So there are external failure, internal failure. So this internal failure means at the stage of manufacturing you could not conform to certain things. External failure means once you have made a product and then this is how it is coming. So cost of conformance, cost of doing good things, cost of non-conformance, cost of poor quality. So prevention cost, example, you have to train employees, you have to improve the process, you have to prevent the things from happening. So preventive cost. Internal failure cost like scrap, rework, retesting. External failure cost, warranty claims, product recall, customer complaint. So these are the external failure cost. The customer will start complaining. Appraisal cost, you are inspecting, you are doing auditing, calibrating. So these are the things. And Crosby gave zero defect concept also. So cost of quality is the most important concept by Crosby, and then zero defect concept of Crosby, Philip Crosby. Zero defect is basically the philosophy which says that do the job correct at the first time. There should not be any defect. So do the job correct very first time. Your job should be correct the very first time you should do, and you should not let the defects from coming. So employees should basically try to prevent the mistakes, do it right the first time. So you see zero defect. There is always acceptable level, that is called acceptable quality level. Acceptable quality level is that level below which the customer will reject the item or product. So that will be defected piece. So this is acceptable level. So zero defect means try to produce something which is above, inspect this basically above the quality level. This is the third absolute of quality management principle of Crosby. Minimize the number of errors. There should not be any error, and at the very first time you should try to produce. Right? So see these two diagrams. Red is when you want to make something which is above the acceptable quality level. Acceptable quality level means yes, customer will accept it. And this blue is zero defect. Even acceptable quality level is higher, but you maintain the quality even there is no defect, zero defect. Acceptable quality level is even if 5 defects are there, acceptable to me. So inspection of defects 5. Let's say acceptable quality level is 5, but I don't want to make any defect. So that is a 0 level. That is the next level. No hassle. When you make the things correct very first time, customers will not have any problem. Prevention is better than inspection. That is what? Prevention, quality assurance. Prevention means quality assurance. Your process is effective. Defected is quality control. Quality standard has 0 defect. Historical observation, we have seen that this was errors dropped significantly when you started introducing this, when you started focusing on. So this acceptable quality level sometimes defines your level of incompetence. 0 defect means you are competent. Then Crosby also gave a concept of quality management maturity grid. Remember that also. Simple tool which shows that you are in quality management spectrum, and he called it quality management maturity grid. It is 5 to 6 metrics, 5:6, different stages of maturity of company's quality management against 6 different quality management categories. So that is the matrix. So I think simple question will be asked from here. So friends, whatever now questions are provided to you for these quality gurus, Demings, Juran and Crosby, I believe there are 3 more quality gurus which I'll be discussing with you. I think that is more than sufficient for you. If you revise it, then certainly questions will be asked from there. Thank you.